for just a couple of core 2 questions this time, because we didn't even have time to do it in the review lesson. The first one just says multiply out 1 plus 2x to the power of 8, just like the examples we did. We start with 1 to the power of 8, and then we've got 8 choose 1, 1 to the 7, that means we want one of these 2x's. Then we've got 8 choose 2, we've got 6 of these and 2 of these, because 6 and 2 is 8. And then 8 choose 3, 5 of those, and 2x all cubed. Working these things out then, well, that's 1. This is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. And then 8 choose 2 on the calculator, that's 28. And we've got to times that by 4. 28 times 4 is like 112 x squared. This thing here is 56. And we've got 56 times 8 there, which is 448 x cubes. We don't need to go any further. It does go further, but it doesn't ask us to go any further. For the second part then, we're actually asked to multiply these two things out. 1 plus a half x times by this big thing we just worked out. But we're not asked to do it all. We're not asked to do every single bit of it. We're only asked to do the x cubed bits. So this x cubed bit here is going to be times by the 1. And of course that just gives us 448 x cubes. We can also get x cubes if we times this x squared term by this x term. That would give us an x cubed. That would just give us just 56 of them as well. When you put those two together, that's going to give us 504 x cubed. What does it ask for? It asks for the coefficient. So the coefficient we want is 504. It's how many x cubes have we got. Second one to have a look at too. Loads of work to do here. And because they're low numbers, they're sort of cubes and fours, a nice thing to start with would be to write out your Pascal's triangle in the corner here. And I see that in so many of the papers, so we get these coefficients right. So the multiplying out of this one, it's 1 plus 3x plus 3x squared and plus x cubed on the end. And this one here is 4x and then 6x squared, 4x cubes, and an x to the 4 on the end. Hopefully they're familiar from what we did earlier. The trick on the next one, although you could just start it all again, is noticing that this thing here is just the same as this one here, but a 4x where the x is. So what we're going to do is just write this thing out again, but instead of writing x, I'm going to write 4x in a bracket. I'm going to write 4x in a bracket, 4x in a bracket. And we can work that bit out. 1 and 12, 4 3s are 12, and 4 squared 16 times 3, 48 of those, and finally 64 x cubes on the end. Let's do exactly the same with this one here, instead of replacing the x with an 3x this time. And so we've got 1 plus 4 bracket 3x. The brackets are so essential. And then 3x squared, and then 3x cubed, and finally the 3x all to the power of 4 on the end. Working these out, we've got 12 x's here. And here we've got 9, 9 6s, 54 x squared. Here we've got 27, 27 times 4, 108 x cubes. And finally 81, 3x times 3x times 3x times 3x, 81 x to the 4's on the end. The very last bit just says take them away. The green one we've got, take away the red one. 1, take away 1, they disappear. 12x, take away 12x, they disappear. 54x, take away 54x squared, take away 48x squared. We've got 6x squared there, haven't we? 108 take away 64. We've got 54 x cubes. Now we've also got 81 x to the 4's all on the end there. And it told us to expect that, because you see the format of the answer was to say it was just going to be squares, cubes, and x to the 4's.